Hey everyone, Daniel from PwnCNC here. Today is a big day. This is the very first official carve on the brand new CNC machine, the Dominator Core. We're carving wooden swords, but this video is about more than that. We're going to walk through the process, and at the end, I'm going to tell you how to grab your own digital maker carving files so you can make this exact project too. So let's jump in. This machine is a Dominator Core 4x4. Running our 1.5 kilowatt 80 millimeter air-cooled spindle system. For the bed, we're using MDF, nothing fancy, and securing our plywood stock with the painter's tape and CA glue method. It's quick, strong, and doesn't damage the stock or the table. I've got yellow tape on the MDF and black tape on the back of the plywood. Add CA glue to one side, activator to the other, line it up, and press it down. Simple and solid. I wanted to make some wooden swords in honor of the Ren Fair our customer Tyler Biddle is dominating at over the past several weeks. The only problem is I couldn't find a file I liked. So I found an image online and asked ChatGPT to convert it into an SVG file for me. Super easy. I pulled that SVG into CarveCo Maker, arranged a few swords on my virtual stock, and then selected my toolpath settings. This was a basic 2D profile cut using the Cyclone Bits Cat 4 compression bit, running at 120 inches per minute. Honestly, the Dominator Core and bit could have handled double that, but this was a safe starting point. Now for the carve itself. I used the Cat 4 compression bit. It's a solid performer for plywood. But I will say, compression bits can sometimes wedge sawdust into the groove, especially when you're not doing a full depth pass or your vacuum isn't dialed in. In this case, it worked fine. But next time I might try a straight or downcut bit just to simplify the cleanup. I loaded up the bit, attached the V12 dust boot, and used our XYZ probe block to find the front left top corner of my stock material. That's our 000 point. All of this is pretty standard stuff, but what's nice is how repeatable and clean the process is with the Masso Touch controller and our spindle system setup. For dust control, I've got our shop vac hooked into an IoT power strip. It automatically powers on when the spindle speed goes above 5,500 RPMs. That feeds into the Mullet Cyclone separator and goes through their hose boom to reach the V12 dust boot. Clean and efficient. The carve took about 5 minutes total. Nothing too complex, but the results were fantastic. The machine ran smooth and fast, held position beautifully, and the cuts were crisp with very little fuzz or tear out. Once the carve was done, I used a flathead screwdriver to pry up the corner of the waste material. Because it's just held with tape, it pops off easily. A little brushwork and a quick pass with the Festool shop vac and our Maglock brush combo, and the workspace is ready for the next job. I grabbed a decorative roundover bit, loaded it into my SawStop router table, and ran all 3 swords along the edges to soften them up. They feel great in the hand now, super smooth and comfortable. This wraps up the project for now, but I'm already thinking of the next steps. Maybe I'll design a hilt on the CO2 laser or use a V-bit next time to engrave some art directly into the blade. There's a lot of potential here, and that brings me to something I'm really excited about. We're now offering digital carving maker files on the site, and this sword project is the first one available. It includes the CarveCo file for full editing and a Masso-ready G-code file that you can load and carve right away. You don't even need to redesign it. Just open it, carve it, and done. It's the same idea as the 3D printing files we've offered for years, but now for CNC carvers. Additionally, if you improve the carving design, I would love to include your improvements in the delivered maker file zip for future buyers. Thanks for coming along this maiden carve of the Dominator Core. If you have suggestions for this project or future projects, leave them in the comments below. I hope this inspired you to carve something yourself. And if you want to carve these exact swords, check out the digital maker files in the description. Also, down there are links to all of the tools, accessories, and machines you saw in this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more carves, builds, and behind-the-scenes content. And as always, don't just own your CNC, dominate it! Hey guys, I wanted to give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes on our filming and this week's video, since it's a bit more interesting than previous videos. It's an actual carve. It's also using our Dominator Core for the first time. So let me give you a tour of the Dominator Core as a kind of the behind the scenes, kind of a add-on to the end of the video. Of course, we've got our camera here, our setup, which is our teleprompter and the camera and all that stuff, so I can see and read and all that stuff. I've got a couple of lights over here. I've got an additional iPhone camera mount so that I can capture videos of close-ups and whatnot. Of course, I got my stool and I got the Dominator Core right here. Let's do a quick little overview on the core. Now, of course, Dominator Core, this is the 4x4 version, so it's 4 feet this way, 4 feet this way, but it's more like 50 something and 49.9 or something like that from the front to back, which means it's got an overhang in the front so I can put my tools off from the bed and get that out of the way. Of course, over here on the right side, I have got the Masso Touch controller. This is running our core firmware. I've already got these swords loaded up on there. And you'll see I've also got the MPG attached to it, the XYZ block, and of course our tool setter. This is the very basic bed design. There are several extrusions that go left to right that keep the Ys in parallel. Those are used to hold the stock down, which in this case, I've got a 3/4 inch MDF just mounted to the bed using some M6 screws and drop-in T-nuts. You'll notice it is a linear rail and ball screw design. These are 1620 ball screws. The Z is a 16, let me get my hand out of the way, it keeps fuzzing out. The Z is a 1610, which basically means the diameter of the screw is 16 millimeters, and then the pitch, which means every 360 rotation, it goes 20 millimeters in the direction of the screw. And of course, the Z being a 1610, that means it has 10 millimeters for every turn. That gives a little better accuracy for the Z. Of course, we've got all of our plates. These are thick extrusions from 80/20 that we're using. They're black, mounted up. These are HG15 or something linear rails. These are pretty standard for the beefy and high quality machines we've got here. I've got the 1.5 kilowatt air-cooled spindle attached. This is the 110. I can put, you can see that it's got one spindle mount, but I do have this, just like the Dominator Pro, you can put a dual spindle mount for that extra beefy look. Of course, many of our spindle mounts do come with extra additional mounting holes, so if you wanted to put a frame or some of those pneumatic dust boots or whatnot, those are there's plenty of mounting options there. In my case, I've got the V12 attached. This is our minimalist boot. Basically, it attaches with the hose mount here, comes down. In this case, I've got it attached to the Mullet Cyclone. That's what I have here. I've added some grounding because this can get pretty staticky. And I've actually ruined an electronic part on my machine. I'm gonna have to replace that. But this thing takes care of that static. The dust gets captured in here. Allows me to extend the life of my bags and whatnot. In this setup, I do have it attached to our IoT power strip, which there's a 2-core wire coming over here to our spindle system. This, of course, is our 110 system. It is controlled through PWM. That's what this port is over here. And of course, here's our switch here. And if I switch it over to manual and spin up, switch it to manual, spin up, you can hear the shop vac automatically turn on. And then just stop it, and it turns off somewhere around 5,500, 6,000, something like that. Flip that back to automatic, and that way the CNC machine can then control it. Now, This is our lean and fast machine. We don't have the inlets port, although you can add it if you want additional inlets. We've got our little port back here, an attachment for our spindle. We've got our power box down there, the ball screws, the linear rails. Let's see. Oh, these are 2 Newton meter steppers, so you do get a good solid performance out of this. And you'll see here's the back where we've got our Z chain. These are 1850 Z chains. Yeah, 1850, really large, plenty enough space for an ATC or whatnot. And they're all mounted on there. Just right down the side. What I did as far as my wiring, our covers have additional collections here for the wires, routes. Basically, the wires come out of the connectors, down the side, through underneath this cover, and then down. That way, any wiggling of this wire does not damage anything in here. So these are special covers. They come down. I've got some attachments underneath here. This little table design, this extrusions table design is coming to the store. So yeah, that's a future improvement. I've got little hooks that come all the way around and they attach. And of course I got a little bit of a wire bundle right there. And then going into the back of the Masso controller. Of course, I probably need to get some zip ties and kind of clean that up a little bit, but that is our Dominator Core walkthrough. Oh, I did want to show something really neat. I've been playing around with neat little cover ideas. This one is going to be included in the machine as well. It's a simple little cover that covers over your motor coupler, keeps the dust out of that. And I am working on other dust prevention ideas, maybe some brushes or something like that. Something else that's interesting, let me see. Here are a couple of ports here, a couple of holes here for possibly adding dual proximity switches. Basically, this is the homing switch for the Y. This is the Y. We've got one on the other side for the B. There's one for our X. But since it's on here, we can eventually, if we find a need for it, put a limit switch. So these would be the homing switches because it homes in the back right. These could be limit switches, a future improvement for limit switches, which actually you don't have to specify how big the machine is. It just stops when it hits the limit. The same with the X. You can have dual switches. This is something I saw on a couple of machines that I've got. That was just super neat. Something else that was really interesting. So our proximity switches here are pretty unique in that they are, they're just standard switches, but the wiring, I found I'm using LED style connectors. These are connectors I'm soldering onto these proximity switches. The wires in the proximity switches are like 24 gauge wires, so they're little itty bitty, which makes them prone to damage on other machines. So what I've done is I've actually soldered it onto an LED strip connector, and then it goes into these our shielded wire here with the snaps right in, makes it easy, good solid connection there. While I don't have the shields drained in this machine, you will see that there is plenty of shield draining that if you just attach these, if you start running into any issues at all, you just attach these to ground and yeah, it's good to go. Now, that is the tour of the machine. One final thing. This is something I did on Amazon. I found this neat little this stopper here. This stopper, it's a big paddle. It's just like the ones you come on your shop vacs or whatnot. It's just a big button. When you hit stop, the whole thing shuts down. And of course, when you hit start, it turns itself back on. Then you run your homing sequence and you're good to go. So yeah, there's a quick little run through of the Dominator Core. And again, I plan to release the, eventually release the table, this extrusions table, as a product offering. It's an awesome, solid table option if you don't want to design your own or you want something that's extrusions based that you can put some casters or something on. this would be a solid option for you. But yeah, yeah, don't just own your CNC, dominate it.